Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the RE100 Bawoo. So as always, thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. If you're living in Australia, do check out their site. I have to say it is great to have a 1/100 scale version of the Bawoo now, and another welcome addition to the RE100 line. The RE100 line is a line that I personally really quite like, because it's a great chance for us to get a lot of these mobile suit designs that we probably would never get in master grade form. And now we have the chance to get them in 1/100 scale, so they're a little bit larger and they have a lot of really nice detail. And as I've said, I think probably in every RE100 review that I've done, which hasn't really been all that many, because there aren't that many out there, but as I always say, I think they pretty much look like master grades on the outside. If you just looked at this, like if you didn't know the RE line existed, this would look like a master grade to you, I think. Now the Bawoo, just in, I guess, how it looks, not due to any fault of the design of the kit, but I mean, it has a lot of these open spaces, like these big, large areas on the legs and the wings and stuff where it's just like all one color, so that might give away that it's not a master grade, because a master grade would probably have a little bit more part separation if we're talking like a modern master grade. But I think these kits look really, really good, and you know, who needs an inner frame? As long as the kit's solid, it's got a lot of nice details, and everything that you're actually going to see looks good, and it does. It looks really good on this kit. A lot of really great details, just like the other RE100 kits so far. As you're seeing this now, there is just, I think, just the sticker for the mono eye, and that's pretty much it. There was one other foil sticker that goes on the camera on the rifle, the beam rifle, but otherwise no actual sticker apps on this. Everything you're seeing is just the colors of the plastic. So pretty good part separation for sure for this kit. And this is the first in the RE100 line that does transform. So at the end of this review I'll show you the transformation. We'll just go through the majority of this review here in the mobile suit mode, because I think that's probably what most people want this for. But for those who are interested in seeing this transformed, I will show that at the end of this review. So let's get a closer look at the details. Before we do that, I will just remind you that we did also have this sheet of marking stickers. So these are unfortunately not water slides, but just stickers. They're really nice. Just kind of wish that they would have been water slides, especially like this one here. Very iconic for like a front skirt, and some of these other markings are nice, just not as nice as water slides, unfortunately. Now one thing about this kit is that it's kind of hard to hold because it's just like pointy everywhere. So here we've got the head, and again the mono eye in there. You can barely see that, but that's in there. You can remove this part of the head carefully. It's super hard to get a grip on this part to take it off. Have you guys ever seen that movie Kung Pao? Really funny movie where he's trying to grab the little diamonds off the guy's chest. Not diamonds, I mean, but like pyramids off the guy's chest. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now, because I'm just not going to get that part off, and I'm taking other parts off as I'm trying to do that. Anyway, that's super annoying. I just am going to give up on that. But you can turn the mono eye by lifting up this part of the head, and then it just turns inside there. So you can do that if you want. The mono eye is really barely visible in there, but it is slightly visible. So the head will only go up to about there and down to about that. So forward and back movement is not really a whole lot, because you have this yellow part that goes way back down there. It's kind of like from the front, it doesn't look like it will do that, but you can see it actually goes, yeah, really far down there, that part on the back of the head. So that really limits the forward and back movement. But side to side will be pretty okay. Here in the torso, I will say when you're building the torso, when you're building this torso section, because of the transformation, it feels kind of really wonky, but then once it all comes together, then it feels really solid. So this doesn't feel like there's anything gonna fall apart or anything now, except for these yellow parts that were coming off when I was trying to take off that part on the head. Anyway, the shoulders are gonna come forward, not really at all, unfortunately, really only like to there, but they will go up. The shoulder part will kind of move. You see it goes down really far, again, because of the transformation. Up only to there. The shoulder armor will move individually. I like that we have this gray piece on the inside of the shoulder to add that detail in there. That's really nice. Arm will go up to really only about there, not really all that high. One thing that The RE100 line does have, that will definitely set it apart from master grades, is the lack of articulation. The articulation on the RE100 kits is not the greatest, I'll admit. Bend in the elbow will give you more than 90 degrees, barely, not a whole lot more. We do have this little part here that will open up with some little missiles there in the forearm. And then also on the inside of our forearm, here is our mounted beam saber handle. So that's just mounted there. I really like that because it really just like blends in to the arm like that. But then that's actually its beam saber handle. So that's pretty cool. The wrist is just on ball joints, and this whole kind of wrist part will move again like that. But that's all just for that. The hands on this kit are pretty nice. I like the look of these hands better than on the Ifrit. The Ifrit hands, I really just didn't like how those looked. In the waist section, there is going to be a little bit of movement here, side to side. You see, you can move that just a little bit like that, which is, yeah, it's just cool considering that this is a transformer to have, oops. Anyway, yeah, it's really hard to grip this kit anywhere with all the pokey stuff pointing out. Anyway, considering that this is a transforming kit, to have any sort of articulation in like the stomach section is kind of cool. Front and back is nothing though, so just a little bit of side to side there. The front skirts will move individually, very long and pointy. Side skirts as well will move up and down. Those feel really, really stiff, but those are there. Again, for the transformation, those can turn on there as well. Back skirt is just fixed there. The backpack, we have, it's really kind of similar in shape to the DJ backpack. So this whole kind of wing section will move up and down, and this individual part, this darker part and the wing part will move separately from each other, and then the wing will move out like that. Again, all just for the transformation. Then we have these missiles clipped onto there. Those are kind of like an optional accessory. I actually don't really care too much for these, so I'll probably just take them off right now, but those are just clipped on. They're kind of loose on there as well. I feel like once you get some paint on there, they'll stick fine, but just as it is, they do feel a little bit loose on there, and they have fallen off a couple times on me. This whole backpack part will move up and down, but again, that's more for the transformation. I just loosened up this part in the chest there. Anyway, getting down to the legs, the leg will rotate at the top, no problem there. Dang! The fact that this front crotch piece keeps popping off is no fault of the kit, it's just that I'm pressing down on it there. Anyway, the knee will give you a really nice full bend there in the knee. Unfortunately, this knee armor doesn't separate, it's just stuck in here. This lower leg is kind of crazy when you put it together, because the ankle assembly and the ankle assembly is like right here in the front part, so you have this huge big empty space here inside the leg. It's just all this big cavernous space inside the leg, so it looks pretty weird when you're putting it together. You may have seen that in the speed build video. But anyway, the feet will close up, and you can then point those down. That kind of like folds up into there like that. Again, that's for the transformation, but it does look pretty cool even in the mobile suit mode, just to be able to point the toes down nice and far for flying poses and stuff. Looks pretty good. So the feet are pretty nice. This front ankle armor part will also move up and down a little bit, but again, mostly for the transformation, but that articulation is there. Under the feet, we have full detail under there, no hollow spaces or anything for that, so that's nice as well. Up underneath the skirt section, we have just a few thrusters there. Hopefully you can see that. So that's pretty cool. Then we do have our action base adapter, which will plug in up under there. We actually have two different action base adapters. That is for, one is for the Bawoo attacker, and one is for the Bawoo nutter you'll use when you have it separated in its transformed state. But if you're just using it in the mobile suit form, you're going to use this one, and this just clips under the crotch like a normal action base connector. Then we've got the Bawoo's shield, which has a load of detail on there. Nice red piece that feeds through there for that, yellow piece here. Lots of really nice detail here on the underside as well. Unfortunately, these like circles look like mold press marks though, less like details, so those will need to be sanded down in there. But otherwise, yeah, just some nice detail. You get like some piping and just like some nice stuff there. This just clips onto the back of the arm. So you can see here on the yellow part, there's that little indent there. That's the target area. You're going to shoot to clip this on, and just clips onto there like that. I don't like shields that mount onto the back of the arm. I prefer them to be on the side of the arm, so that's kind of unfortunate, but it's a really, really nice looking shield, so we'll just keep that on there. Do also have a beam rifle. I really don't like the design of the beam rifle for the Bawoo, unfortunately, but this one's not bad. It definitely looks better than the high grade version, that's for sure. So again, just green sticker there for the camera, a nice little red part there for the hosing. Otherwise, it's basically just two parts sandwiched together. The handle does fold up, again, for the transformation. But this just fits into the hand. You can see it has a peg on the left and right side, so if you wanted to plug this into the left or the right hand, no problem with doing that. And the last thing for accessories is just the two beam saber effect parts. So in terms of the accessories, I mean, it's just beam rifle, shield, beam saber effect parts, so it's really standard kind of accessories, so nothing really too special there. I think the main draw of this kit is really just more the mobile suit rather than its accessories. And then for a size comparison, here it is compared with the RE100 DJ. Now ignore the fact that the DJ is missing its backpack and that one of the front legs there is maroon, but this is just to compare the size for you guys. As you can see, the Bawoo is a pretty sizable kit. I mean, in terms of like its proportions, you can see the legs are definitely a little bit longer, and like the overall size, like the torso size is compared to these two, the leg size is all relatively similar, but the just legs being a little bit longer, the feet being a little bit taller, and then the shoulders being much more pronounced, and then having those big huge wings on the backpack definitely make the Bawoo look like a quite large looking mobile suit here in the 1/100 scale. So like I said, the articulation is not always been the strong point of these Revive kits, but that's not to say that you can't do some really nice poses with this kit. So yeah, I think that posing this really isn't too much of a problem. Part of me kind of wonders that when Bandai is selecting the kits for the RE100 line, I'm wondering if they intentionally select kits or designs that look really good in just a standing, not posed position, because like the Bawoo, as well as the other kits in the line so far, are all kits that look really good, like just standing there, looking really awesome. I guess the Gundam Mark III was a much like a thinner design that had a little definitely better articulation, but the other ones I think have all been just sort of the ones where you just kind of want to have them just standing there looking awesome. This one, though, it's kind of in between. I think this one looks really awesome just standing there, but you can do some posing with this that is going to look pretty cool. So yeah, kudos for that. So overall, and just in terms of the mobile suit, I have to say this is a really, really great kit. Another great addition to the RE line, one of the reasons why I just really like the RE line. If you haven't tried any kits from this line, I really recommend you do. If you get a chance, they're not that expensive, they look really, really awesome, and I don't know, is there really anything else too much important? But I am one that does always gush about great articulation in kits. I love when kits have great articulation, so that is one kind of downside for me. But like I said, these kits look so good just standing there. You really don't need that great articulation, whereas like for some high grade kit or something that doesn't quite have as much details and things like that, a lot of, well, I don't know, it just depends on the kit anyway. This kit looks awesome, that's what's important, so I would definitely recommend it. Now that pretty much wraps up pretty much everything I can say about just the kit itself. It's nice, solid, but there is also the transformation, so now we'll take a look at that to wrap up this review. Alright, so here is the transformed Bawoo Attacker. This is the top half, called the Bawoo Attacker. This is definitely the more interesting of the two. The Bawoo Nutter, not only does it have a stupid name, but it also is basically just the legs turned sideways and pointed out, and that's pretty much it. So not really a whole lot to show with the Nutter. I'll show you that just here in a minute. I don't have two 1/100 action bases assembled on hand. I do have a couple more, but they're not assembled yet. So I'll just show you them separately. But anyway, yeah, the transformation is not that difficult. It's just a few steps. Definitely not the worst I've ever done. Not quite the easiest thing ever. You do just want to be a little bit careful. I didn't feel like there was anything that was going to break, but there are definitely parts that can fall off or come apart as you're transforming it, so just be a little bit careful about that. Really, the only thing you're losing when you're transforming this is you just have to take off the hands. There's nowhere for the hands to go, but otherwise everything else is there, and it's cool that you can attach the rifle and the shield onto that as well. Actually, I think you have to attach the rifle if you want to use the action-based connector, because the action-based connector actually attaches onto the rifle. So I think if you weren't using the rifle, I'm not sure if there's a place to attach the action-based connector onto there. It doesn't show here. I'm trying to look in the manual. It doesn't show in the manual. So if you wanted to use this without the rifle in there, I think you might have to do a little bit of modification in order to use an action-based connector on there. The shield looks a little bit goofy sticking so far off the back, but overall it's pretty cool looking transformation, I think. Let me just give you a look at the nutter here as well. So yep, here it is, the nutter. It's kind of a shame actually to end this review on something so unimpressive on a kit that really is a nice kit and probably deserves better on a note to go out on. But one thing that I will say about this one as well is that the way the action-based connector attaches onto this, it actually fits over, like, the, if you can see underneath there, over the like front crotch piece there of armor. So I have a feeling you're going to really want to make sure you have some really strong top coat on that if you ever plan on putting this on action base and then taking it off once you've painted the kit, because that's a really tight fit and it's definitely going to be scratching your paint if you plan on doing that. So just make sure you have a good paint sealing on that. So otherwise, that's pretty much it for this kit, guys. Definitely highly recommended. The transformation probably not going to be for everyone, but just for anyone who's interested, just wanted to show that to you guys. I'm going to transform it back to the mobile suit mode, and it's never going to be transformed again. So that's it for me. If you guys do have any other questions or comments about this, you can leave those down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.